The Cat and the Old Banyan Tree. The village of Maramper was a place where time seemed to move slower than the rest of the world. Its winding dirt paths, clay houses, and endless green fields gave the air of a place untouched by modern life. Yet, in the heart of this village stood something even older than the people who lived there, a grand, ancient banyan tree. The tree stretched high and wide, its thick roots tangled like sleeping snakes across the ground, and its branches stretched so far they seemed to touch the sky. The villagers believed the tree was centuries old, and with age came secrets. They told stories of whispers heard under its shade, of strange lights glowing between its roots, and of unseen eyes watching from its shadows. But for one little creature, the banyan tree was not a place of fear. For her, it was home. Her name was Nimra, a slender gray cat with striking golden eyes. She had been born under the banyan tree one stormy night, and since then, she never strayed far from it. Children of the village often played nearby, throwing her scraps of food or trying to chase her, but Nimra always ran back into the safety of the banyan's roots. Yet, there was more to Nimra than just being a village cat. She had a strange gift. The silent guardian. Every evening, as the sun dipped behind the fields and the sky turned shades of orange and purple, Nimra would climb up the banyan tree. She would perch herself on one of the thick branches and stare silently at the village below. To most, it looked like the usual behavior of a cat, but the elders whispered differently. They said Nimra could sense danger before it came. It had happened once, years ago. A snake had slithered its way into the village, hiding in the shadows of the fields. The villagers hadn't noticed, but Nimra did. She stood on the banyan branch, hissing loudly until people followed her cries. By the time they saw the snake, it was too close to a child playing in the field. If Nimra hadn't alerted them, the child would not have survived. Since then, the people treated her as more than just a stray. They called her the silent guardian of the banyan tree. The strange night. One night, when the air was heavy with monsoon clouds, Nimra felt something unusual. The banyan tree seemed restless. Its branches swayed even though there was no wind, and the roots felt alive beneath her paws. She narrowed her golden eyes and gazed at the village. Everything looked normal at first, people finishing their dinners, lamps glowing in mud houses, children falling asleep. But Nimra's instincts told her otherwise. Suddenly, she noticed movement near the edge of the fields. Several dark figures crept slowly toward the village. Their shadows merged with the night, but Nimra saw them clearly. They were not villagers, they were thieves. Nimra let out a long, piercing cry, louder than ever before. Her voice echoed through the silence of the night. Villagers stirred, lights flickered on, and dogs began barking. The thieves froze, startled by the sudden chaos. Within moments, the men of the village rushed out with sticks and lanterns. Seeing they had been discovered, the thieves ran into the darkness, never to return. The villagers looked up at the banyan tree, where Nimra still sat, tail wrapped neatly around her body, her golden eyes gleaming like two tiny flames. They bowed their heads in respect. Once again, she had saved them. Whispers of the tree. After that night, something changed. Nimra began spending more time close to the deepest roots of the banyan tree. Often, she would sit there, staring into the darkness between the roots as if she were listening to someone. Children who passed by swore they heard faint whispers too, but whenever adults checked, there was nothing. One old woman, Amma Rahima, believed the tree and the cat shared a bond. She said, "This tree has watched over us for centuries, and now it has given us its spirit in the form of that cat. Together, they protect us." The villagers laughed at her words, but deep down, they felt she might be right. The storm. One fateful evening, dark clouds gathered over Maramper. The wind howled, lightning flashed, and rain poured like never before. The banyan tree shook violently, its massive roots straining against the soaked earth. That night, Nimra behaved differently. She didn't stay on the branches or the roots. She ran through the village, meowing loudly, scratching at doors, and refusing to let anyone sleep. The people were confused, some even annoyed. But suddenly, in the middle of the storm, part of the old riverbank broke. A fierce flood came rushing toward the village. Had the people been asleep, they would not have survived. But thanks to Nimra's warnings, everyone escaped to higher ground. The next morning, when the storm calmed, they returned to find destruction. Fields were ruined, houses damaged, but no lives were lost. And there, under the old banyan tree, sat Nimra, drenched and exhausted, yet calm. The villagers wept with gratitude. A legend forever. Years passed, and Nimra grew old. Her fur turned silver, and her steps slowed, but her golden eyes never lost their fire. One morning, the villagers found her lying peacefully under the banyan tree, as if she had simply gone to sleep. They buried her beneath the roots of the tree she had guarded all her life. From that day, the villagers believed that Nimra's spirit had merged with the banyan tree itself. Whenever the wind rustled through its branches, people said it was Nimra's whisper, still watching, still protecting. Children grew up hearing her story, and whenever they saw a cat near the banyan tree, they would bow their heads, whispering, "Thank you, guardian." The banyan tree still stands in Maramper, ancient and wise, and at its roots lies the story of a cat who became more than just an animal. She became a legend.